Welcome to our channel. Alexandra Daddario's iconic moments that make us love her even more. Alexandra Daddario has had a varied and exciting career since her TV debut in All My Children. She initially rose to prominence playing Annabeth Chase in the film adaptation of Percy Jackson the Olympians, The Lightning Thief. But it was her buzzy role in True Detective that really put her on the map. She started popping up everywhere following her turn in the hit HBO show, though not all of her projects have been received well by critics and audiences. Over the course of her career, Daddario has acted in a wide range of projects, from franchise horror films to prestige TV dramas, and even a fair share of raunchy comedy films. Along the way, there have been many memorable moments, both on screen and off. What all of these roles, appearances, and stories have in common is that they've completely endeared audiences to Daddario as a person, not just as an actor. While there are plenty of little-known facts about Alexandra Daddario, these career highlights are among her most notable and recognizable. Whether it's a specific scene from her most memorable work or a peek at how she conducts herself between takes, it's hard to walk away from any of these moments without a growing affection for the talented star. These are Daddario's most iconic moments that make us love her even more. She kicked major butt in her Percy Jackson entrance, while Alexandra Daddario made her debut on All My Children aged 16. It wasn't until she was in her 20s that she landed the breakthrough role of Annabeth Chase in Percy Jackson the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, the 2010 adaptation of Rick Riordan's hit fantasy novel. It was her first big project, and there was a lot to adjust to given how quickly she went from audition to production within 2 weeks of sending her tape in. She was moving to Vancouver for the shoot. Despite having little time to prepare for it, Daddario's introduction as Annabeth during a game of Capture the Flag at Camp Half-Blood is the first iconic moment of her career. Daddario's performance as Annabeth the demigod, daughter of Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, immediately conveys the character's cunning and brute strength. She shows little mercy to Percy, quickly besting him in sword combat. It's a great intro for Annabeth, and it marked Daddario as a memorable performer capable of intense action sequences. Speaking to Cosmopolitan, she said that the combat training she learned for this scene became very useful later in her career. It empowered me and made me feel stronger, and it changed my life. Although we never got a third Percy Jackson movie, it's nice to know Daddario still cherishes her time playing Annabeth. She broke our hearts in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Alexandra Daddario has made many memorable appearances in hit comedy shows, from her brief stint in New Girl to a cameo in the pilot of The Last Man on Earth. However, the most iconic of the bunch has to be her guest role on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. In the episode Charlie and Dee Find Love, Charlie and Dee end up going on a double date with members of Philly's wealthiest family. Daddario's Ruby Taft falls hard for Charlie, but things don't end well for her, despite how accepting she seems to be of Charlie's quirks and flaws. In the end, it's revealed that Charlie was simply using Ruby as a way to make the waitress his true love, jealous, which works like a charm. Charlie ends up chewing Ruby out for being so naive, resulting in her running off crying. Daddario's experience on Always Sunny was just as memorable for her as it was for viewers, because she was a massive fan of the show even before she was cast. Considering Ruby is one of the more likable characters in Always Sunny, given that they usually range from horrible to truly horrible, it's not hard to see why audiences were charmed by her performance. One True Detective scene changed her career. While her previous roles established her as a working actor in mainstream film and TV, Alexandra Daddario was never the same after True Detective. She appeared in the critically acclaimed first season of the series as Lisa Tragnetti, the mistress of Woody Harrelson's Marty Hart. While Lisa plays a much bigger part in the unraveling of Marty's personal life amid a troubling homicide investigation, she received a lot of attention. For better or worse, for one particular scene. In the scene, Marty makes a late-night visit to Lisa's apartment, where it's first revealed that he's cheating on his wife with her. Daddario went nude for the scene, which she viewed as a challenge but one she was willing to take on for the opportunity to work on the series. I really wanted to be part of the show, and I understood why the nudity and all of that was required of the character, she told MTV. The character is really different from anything that I've done before. True Detective ended up being a huge boost for Daddario's career. She would later reveal that there was an influx of offers after that episode aired. Speaking to Men's Journal about her now iconic scene, she said, "I was naked on the show, and it was huge for my career, and the phone was ringing, and I got some work off of it. I think that I hadn't been that aware of my sex appeal prior to that." Lady Gaga is Daddario's best on-screen kiss. There have been plenty of pause-worthy kisses in TV history, but if you're a fan of American Horror Story, then you probably have a soft spot for the first time Alexandra Daddario and Lady Gaga lock lips in Hotel. Daddario certainly does. In 2015, she played a recurring role in the 5th season of the hit horror anthology, appearing as real-life Hollywood costume designer Natasha Rambova. Lady Gaga plays the Countess Elizabeth, who becomes romantically entangled in the marriage between Natasha and her husband, real-life actor Rudolph Valentino, played by Finn Wittrock. Natasha and Elizabeth kiss several times during their relationship, which comes to a violent end in one iconic scene. From the season's 10th episode, She Gets Revenge, Elizabeth and Natasha become involved in a confrontation that ends with Elizabeth coldly shooting Natasha in the head. Hotel is far from the scariest season of American Horror Story, but this moment stands out as being particularly shocking. The experience was a memorable one for Daddario, who told Cosmopolitan, "How lucky am I that I got to work with Lady Gaga? What an amazing woman. She may have been my best on-screen kiss." Her Baywatch bloopers showcase her sense of humor. In 2017, Alexandra Daddario played her biggest role up to that point in Baywatch, a film reboot of the iconic TV series. She starred as Summer Quinn alongside Zac Efron and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, her former San Andreas co-star. Being a Baywatch movie, Daddario knew she would be spending a lot of time in a swimsuit, so she trained hard for the role, doing full body workouts, hot yoga, and cardio, among other exercises. Scantily clad men and women is par for the course when it comes to Baywatch, and what's clear from the film's blooper reel is that Daddario had quite a sense of humor about the whole thing. In one scene, Efron's Matt gets distracted by Summer's chest during a conversation, which she hilariously calls out and rips him on. During the blooper version of this scene, Daddario jumps up and down, which causes Efron and her to break. The whole reel is hilarious, but seeing her let loose and mess around with her colleagues is what really makes it for fans of the actor. Although Baywatch belly flopped at the box office, the role of Summer was one of Daddario's first opportunities to prove she could be a leading lady in a comedy movie, and it wouldn't be her last. If Baywatch was a trial run for Alexandra Daddario's potential as a comedy leading lady, 2017's was like the Olympics. The film, directed by William H. Macy, stars her and Kate Upton as roommates who begin competing over a hot firefighter during an extended layover. Sadly, the film did not impress critics. It belongs to the dreaded club on Rotten Tomatoes. In their review, Vijay Varman from The Last Time Hollywood released a film with female portrayals this bad was in the Kate Hudson Anne Hathaway starring Bride Wars. Thanks you for watching. Stay connected with us for more videos.